getting in a room forever. And I don't say that about most romances. Just kind of icked me out. Next thing after next thing. It's doing what it needs to do. She like kind of avoids her therapist, but I'm giggling and kicking my feet again. Thank God. Hey besties, if you're new here, my name's Lottie, and today I thought we could start a new reading vlog. When I'm trying to come up with concepts or themes for my reading vlogs lately, I've been trying to look at my monthly TBR and seeing if there's any like common themes or threads that I can pull. So last month in February, I ended up reading sad books for a week, and this month I thought that we could read new releases for a week. I thought we could get started with Deep End by Hazelwood because this just seems like a fun read. Everyone's been talking about this. I also really enjoyed Not in Love. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Like Hazelwood books aren't my favorite romances ever because I kind of prefer more of an emotional romance, but I always love like a fun, well done, steamy moment, and I think Hazelwood's the best of that. So I'm excited for this. I have high hopes that it'll be another 4-star, honestly. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate the new release paperback with sprayed edges? Like, it's perfect. I love it. So I think we're gonna start with this one, but I'm also really excited to hopefully read Rebel Witch and First Time Caller in this vlog. I'm gonna timestamp out the sections of the vlog, so if you're just here for one part of the reading vlog, feel free to skip around, come back, you do you, have fun. This book is about a competitive diver and an ace swimmer. We're following Scarlett Vandermeer, who is a competitive diver, and between prepping for med school and maintaining her diving career, she's a very busy woman. She's not have time to date. And then on the other hand, we've got our MMC Lucas, who is the swim captain at Stanford. He's the aquatics golden boy and he thrives on discipline. And I think that Lucas and Scarlett are gonna find out that they are like compatible with their sexual preferences, if you know what I mean. So they start up a no strings arrangement, which of course, you know, turns into something more, I think. Hazelwood included a note in the front of this book, as she did with Not in Love, just kind of letting the reader know what to expect. So I appreciate the warning. I always love consent. Consent is sexy. I always appreciate how Allie writes that into her stories and kind of romanticizes that, because I think she does an especially good job with it, which sets a great example. And honestly, I'm just eager to dive in. That was a really bad one. This is giving like actual rom-com. I love when we can have a nice little comedic moment that doesn't make me cringe. It's just, there's something special about that in a romance book, you know? I don't know, it's just written in a like very lighthearted kind of way with fun little quips that I'm really enjoying, and it's just making it not feel so serious too. But there actually is like a plot as well, which I'm enjoying. This whole book so far honestly feels like a plot line out of The Sex Lives of College Girls. That's one of my favorite TV shows on HBO. This is like if that TV show had like a spin-off book, honestly. Guys, it's been a few days, so I figured I would update you. Also, I'm just now realizing I left the walking pad right there. I was vacuuming, so I had to move it around. Anyways, I started this book on, I think it was Friday, and today's Monday, and I feel like my weekends go one of 2 ways. Either I read like 2 books in the weekend, or I read like 20 pages, and there's literally no in between. So this past weekend was one of those 20-page weekends. I did make it to page 163, so you'd think that's like halfway through the book. No. This one is like pushing 500, dare I say. No, that's dramatic. It's like 420, but still. And I did listen a little bit to the audiobook some yesterday on Spotify because I wanted to keep reading, making progress. I just had a lot of life things that I needed to actually do. When I got off work today, I have just been editing that book shopping vlog that should be up by now. So anyways, that's what I've been working on instead of actually reading for this vlog. I'm liking Deep End decently well. I will say yesterday listening to the audiobook for a little bit just kind of icked me out. It reads so normal in my head, and then when I hear it, I'm like, why is this icky? I don't know. So anyways, I wasn't listening to the audiobook as much today when I had like breaks in my day. I was just watching booktube videos instead. And so my progress is a little slower than I'd like because I've been reading this for like 4 days and I'm not even halfway, but it's okay. I will say I feel like a lot of people don't love the kind of love triangle aspect of this book, which I don't know if you could call it a love triangle or not. It's kind of a gray area, which is like part of the plot, but I'm kind of interested to see like how all that works out. I will say it's like definitely creating a bit of tension, but it's also making everyone just like a little less likable to me. That is part of the plot. Another kind of plot point that I don't feel like I'd heard too much about is that Scarlett, our main female character, actually experienced a pretty severe injury from a diving accident. I want to say like a year and a half before this book takes place. And she's really struggling to get that dive back. And so she's in cognitive behavioral therapy. So she has some conversations with her therapist and are kind of that like more emotional, like getting to know Scarlett side of the story that I'm enjoying too. And I'm really curious to see like how she works through that. We didn't really get into too much like spice until I want to say 40% of the way. I remember because I had to turn the audiobook off at that point. So it wasn't too soon in the book. I feel like I was a little worried it was going to just like throw you in the deep right away, you know, but I don't feel like it's been too much so far. I'm just kind of having a fun time. Those are my thoughts on Deep End so far. Oh, and also I wanted to share with you guys, I'm so excited. I ordered a new desk chair for my desk here. So this is the office and my desk for work is right here. But I've had this desk chair from Home Goods, I think it is, for years now. And I ordered a new desk chair from Branch as a treat for myself because I just needed something like more ergonomic. This chair, it's cute. It's not very comfy. So I'm so excited for that. It came today and Andrew's just gonna help me put it together when he gets home tonight. Well, hello. It's the next day and we got the chair all set up. I'm loving it, but I just wrapped up with work for the day. It's just about 6 o'clock and it's still so light outside. I'm getting my personality back. Like I'm feeling like myself again. I read a little bit last night, a little bit before breakfast, a little bit on my lunch break, like never enough to really feel like I needed to update you. I just hit page 300 and I was like, oh, maybe I should give y'all an update. I'm also gonna take my glasses off. Okay, so my thoughts on the book. It's something about the college setting for this one. At first it was nostalgic and fun and I was enjoying it. And I do enjoy it to an extent, but I don't feel like there's a whole lot of plot in this book. The plot itself, beyond just the relationship she has going on, is a lot of self-discovery, which I like, but it's all set in the backdrop of college. I feel like feeling lost in college is like a rite of passage. College is about growth. Like I expect it, so I'm less like impressed by it, I guess. But I am impressed, of course, that Scarlett is going to therapy. I think it was mandated, so I don't know how impressed we should be, but I'm glad she's going. She like kind of avoids her therapist, but I feel like that's helping. I honestly don't care too much about any of the side characters in this book other than Penn, and she's like kind of insufferable. But I do really like Lucas. I feel like Scarlett is just kind of one of those main female characters who's always doubting herself. I just hate being in the head of someone who's always doubting themselves for a whole book. Like I guess that's just not my personality type. Like I'm pretty headstrong. Not that she's helpless, because she's very strong, very smart, very capable, but it's kind of the thing where like the guy has to show her how great she is. I don't love that trope. I want her to like either find that on her own or already know that about herself and for there to be some other reason that we love him. And I want her to like come to loving herself with or without him. And I feel like Scarlett, she definitely owns who she is, but she also like hates herself, which is just hard to read about. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with like being in Scarlett's head. I totally understand why people would like this book, and I'm not trying to dog on like personality types that are different from mine. I think I'm just thinking out loud of like why I connect with a character or why I don't. And we all have our biases. And I think it's normal to connect with characters who have things in common with you, either in how they think, act, show up in the world, whatever. I definitely still have a ton of respect for Scarlett and I'm enjoying following her journey. I just wish she had a little more like love and like support in her life outside of her relationship with Lucas, because I feel like she's needing that. With all that being said, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna put the audiobook on for a little bit. I'll let you guys know if I read any more tonight, but if I don't see ya, I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, besties. It's a new day and I'm almost done with Deep End. Really don't have much left to go. Probably have like 20-30 pages, which you may be like, Lottie, how did you get so close to the end of the book and not actually finish it? I'm bored. I really hate to say it too. First of all, I really don't like the audiobook narrator. I listened to some this morning while I was doing my hair for the day, and she did the audiobook for Bride as well and Love Theoretically. I tried to start listening to Love Theoretically like back in November. I got it on Libby and then I literally turned it on for one chapter and I was like, I can't do it. And I don't think I ever put the pieces together. This is the same narrator. And then same with Bride. I did a little bit of tandem listening on Spotify with Bride. I think this narrator is ruining Allie Hazelwood's books for me, and to each their own. Like it really is a matter of personal preference, and I'm not trying to like speak ill will on this narrator. She sounds like very cartoonish to me. She also, respectfully, sounds like a 40 to 50-year-old woman who's trying to speak like a teenager. I wish we could just get like some girls in their 20s to do the narration. However, I do really like the audiobook narrator for Lucas. It's dual narration, and Lucas He's eating it up. To be fair, also, I just don't love romance on audio, and the spicy scenes on audio like immediately have to get turned off. Depending on your taste in spice, like if this is your taste, I think that you'll be into it. I just personally don't know that this is like my favorite flavor. I think a lot of the thoughts I had yesterday still stand. I feel like this book has had super mixed reviews lately, and I find when that happens, when people either love it or hate it, a lot of times I kind of fall somewhere in the middle because I'm like, I understand why people love this, but I also understand why people hate this, and I kind of agree with both. I'm gonna finish it up. I've got like 30 pages left. It took me like 15 minutes to actually finish the book. I really didn't have much left. It was so much better without the audiobook, but it was just because I was listening to the audio this morning that I was like getting really icked out. But I also sometimes feel like if a romance book is that bad on audio, maybe it's not that good when I'm actually reading it. And so I think I just start second guessing like my own opinions sometimes when the audiobook is like that cringy, because I'm like, wait, is the book just cringy? And like it just went over my head when I was reading it. So it makes my rating really hard. I think the conversation around this book right when it came out from a lot of people were like, I didn't know how spicy this was gonna be. And I do feel like there's been a bit of a shift online in like how we talk about spice with romance books, especially with like conservatism influencing and infiltrating culture lately, which I'm not a fan of. So I don't want you guys to take any of my like critiques around that the wrong way. I think I'm just trying to be genuine about like how it resonated for me. And I do think oftentimes like more intimate scenes in a book can and do serve the plot in some way. I do feel like oftentimes it can enhance the story in a lot of ways and kind of make the stakes a little bit higher. So I do feel like the spice in this book like served the plot in a lot of ways. I think like I said earlier though, maybe it just wasn't like my particular flavor. And I think I just felt like I liked these characters, but I didn't love them. I'm definitely glad I read it though. I feel like everyone's been talking about it and I wanted to know what my opinion was. I think I'd give it a 3-star, kind of like you were good. I was waiting for you to be great, you know? So finally, after a week, I've finished a book for this vlog. Hi besties. It's, I think almost 7. Look how bright it still is outside. Like it's giving me so much life. So I wrapped up with work right around 5 and then I put some makeup on and picked out a cute outfit and filmed a sit down video. So I'm gonna try to edit that maybe tonight and get it up tomorrow. I may be doing that tonight instead. You see how editing just disrupts my ability to read, but because I finished Deep End, I wanted to sit down and formally say it's time to start a new book for this vlog. And I'm really excited for this next read because it's time for Rebel Witch, y'all. Kristin Ciccarelli, I am sat. If you didn't read Heartless Hunter, here is the TLDR on this series. Heartless Hunter is about a witch and a witch hunter. We've got Rune and Gideon. It's kind of like a Regency era fantasy, which is really fun for spring. I'm super into Regency stuff. I feel like this time of year, the heads of the government, whatever, they like hate the witches. And Gideon's the head of the Blood Guard, which is kind of like the group that enforces like killing the witches or like exiling them. And Rune is, in fact, a witch. So by day, she's like this ditzy airhead socialite, but by night, Rune is the Crimson Moth, which is kind of the name of this duology. And so she is this like secret fabulous witch who is helping other witches not get captured and killed by the Blood Guard, basically. So it's an unfortunate, like true enemies to lovers, not just rivals, like enemies. Love has never been so deadly. Guys, I can't wait. It's time! Okay, besties, it's the next night. I never updated you yesterday. It's about 9 p.m. now. Anders and I watched Survivor tonight, which was really fun. I read a couple chapters last night, and then I went back and did some editing for the rest of the night, and then I read some more before bed, but I didn't get very far. I got to page 43. This book's about 450 pages, so I think I'm about 10% of the way through the book, but I'm loving being back in the Republic. I really don't have too many thoughts yet because I'm quite literally on page 43. I need to lock in. It's time to lock in. I feel like anytime I read before bed, I either start binge reading the whole book and I'm constantly giving you updates, or I read for like 30 minutes and then I fall asleep. So we'll see which one it is tonight. Hi guys, I've been reading for a bit now, so I wanted to give you my first impressions. I feel like I can't say too much about this book since it's the second in a series. I don't want to give any spoilers. Rebel Witch has been so well paced. Like, I cannot put it down. I'm just absolutely eating it up. I feel like there is just next thing after next thing going on. And to be fair, Rune and Gideon in this book do have like a lot of plot armor. And I feel like every 5 minutes there's like another threat that I'm like, how are they going to find their way out of this? And then they do. I'm loving how much time we're getting to have with Gideon and Rune together in this book so far. I think a lot of times in like enemies to lovers, romantasy, you have the two main characters where like one of them is in jail for a couple chapters, one of them gets captured or has to go on like their own mission or like whatever. And it's been really fun so far because Gideon and Rune have been like in each other's orbit pretty much the whole book, and I'm really enjoying how much time we're getting to spend with them together. I'm just cherishing it because you're really getting to see like the depth of the dilemma of their hate and also the development of like more of their feelings. So I'm loving it so far. Hi guys, it's the next day. I'm out here on my balcony, as you can see, so I hope you can hear me okay. I want to be super transparent with you guys and just say that I have been really anxious today. I think the reason why is, well, first of all, I got off Twitter, like I deleted Twitter, but I think social media is really making me very anxious right now. The short form content, I feel like I've been putting pressure on myself to be more on TikTok. You can literally see the shadow of my little camera right here. TikTok just genuinely like makes me so anxious. I'm thinking about just deleting the app and like ghosting TikTok for a little. I don't know. I just wanted to be transparent and share and see if anyone else was feeling this way. I know a lot of you guys don't love short form because that's why we're all here on YouTube. And I think I'm just putting pressure on myself because I really want to grow my YouTube because this is what I love the most. And I feel like book talk is such a great way to grow your audience, grow your following. And I've seen other people have such success with that. And I'm jealous of that, honestly. And I shouldn't make it that complicated in my head. Like even just to post like a book and outfit of the day or do like a really quick short form thing. I just don't enjoy it though, the way I enjoy doing YouTube and long form. I'm just a right little overthinker and I've just been in my head a lot this afternoon. So I wanted to share and just be transparent that I'm like not 100% today, but I am really excited because I got this new hoodie today. I saw Faith Osler from Faith's Reading Things wearing this hoodie in one of her TikToks or something, I think. And I just thought it was so cute. So I Googled it and found it because I feel like I only have crew necks and I really wanted something that had like a hood. I just love it. So it's bringing me joy. I'm excited that it's the weekend. Anyways, let's get back to talking about Rebel Witch. I just got to part 3 not that long ago, so I paused because I knew I wanted to update you guys. I just passed the 300 page mark. I think I'm like 2/3 the way through the book and I'm still really liking it, but I do feel like the middle slowed down a little for me. I feel like it's just a little repetitive. When I'm reading it, it's very bingeable, but when I'm not reading it, like I'm not thinking about it. I feel like a couple of the twists and turns so far have been pretty predictable, but still satisfying. I don't know. Let's just keep reading. I definitely want to finish this one up tonight and I'll give you my final thoughts. Who did this to you? Who did this to you is gonna do it for me every single time. Every single time. Give me his name. Gideon Sharp, the man that you are. I'm giggling and kicking my feet again. Thank God. We are so back. I made it to chapter 60. I think I'm gonna break for dinner. I'm feeling a little bit better. I think reading is definitely helping me. I've got like 100 pages left, so definitely doable tonight. It's getting a lot better again. I feel like we just had a little slump in the middle there for me, but I'm enjoying it more now. Hello, it's the next day, and I finished Rebel Witch by Kristin Ciccarelli last night. So I've officially completed a series this year. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this book. I feel like the beginning had me gripped. The ending was super sweet. I feel like the middle, there were a few like editing choices where it could have just been like cut down a little bit. Sometimes it got a little repetitive. Overall, it was so cute. I love Gideon and Rune, like Gideon and Rune forever. I specifically really love Rune. She is one of my favorite types of like heroines in fantasy stories where she is very feminine but like very strong, and those two things are not mutually exclusive. And I feel like sometimes you have a little bit more of like a pick-me fantasy heroine who's like, I don't like doing my nails and wearing pretty dresses. I just want to wear my fighting leathers, which like cool, good for you. But I also think there is something to be said for the brave rebels who also want to wear a pretty dress, you know? And I just love the way Gideon like sees that in her too and like respects her. I think I'm landing on a 4-star rating for this one. And then Heartless Hunter for me, I think I started at a 4 and then raised it to like a 4.5. I'd say overall it has like 5-star feelings as a series, but like the individual books are probably closer to like a technical 4, just because it's written for a little bit of a younger audience, a little bit like simplistic, a little bit like predictable, but overall I was so connected to these characters. And I feel like this is just like a YA romantasy duology done perfectly. So like I said, it's Saturday today and I want to start our final book for this vlog, First Time Caller by BK Borison. If you remember my March TBR video, I picked this one as a Kindle read for the month, but it actually ended up coming in my Afterlight Illumicrate box, which is like a romance subscription box. So it's this really cool special edition with sprayed edges and it has like artwork on the inside and it's signed by the author, which is really cool. I've never read anything from BK Borison. I feel like this book has been absolutely everywhere the past month. So if you haven't read it, I'm sure you've at least heard of it. It's an adult contemporary romance book about our main male character Aiden and main female character Lucy. So I think this book follows Aiden and Lucy. Lucy, I think, is a single mother. And when her daughter calls Baltimore's romance hotline and reaches Aiden, our main male character, to ask him for some advice about her mom's dating life, Lucy runs to the phone, grabs it, and starts talking to Aiden, and the call goes completely viral. Now that she and Aiden have been thrust into the limelight and all of Baltimore is invested in her love life, she's starting to question if she's as happy as she thought. I don't really have too much planned today. There's going to be a big storm in Atlanta today, so I intentionally kind of like cleared my calendar because I didn't want to be caught out in the storm. I'm feeling a lot better today, in case anyone was wondering. Not quite so anxious, which is a good feeling. Sometimes you just gotta sleep it off. And I think I'm gonna delete TikTok for like a week or a month or something. I just like need a break. So I'd love to get a decent chunk into First Time Caller today, also because I feel like I'm a little behind on my reading goals for the month. But before I sit down and physically read the book, I think I might throw on the audiobook for a few hours. I heard from my friend Alice that the audiobook is really good. I think because of like the radio show, because I think that'll kind of have the setup with the call-in and everything, which could be fun to listen to. And then as we get more into the book, I'll probably switch back over to reading the physical copy. But I wanted to do some spring cleaning today and work on my closet because it's just a mess. So I'm gonna do that, start the audiobook, and I will check back in with you guys with my first impressions. I have a real mess on my hands here, so I've got a lot more work to do before I can just sit down and chill for the rest of the night. So I may be listening to most of this on audiobook. Honestly, it's really great on audiobook. And I don't say that about most romances. And it's so nice to find a romance that's really good on audiobook because, like I said, they're hard to find. And it's one of my favorite genres. This has not been cringy at all so far. It's been so cute. The narrators are so much like, oh my God. When I say they're so much better than the narrators for Deep End. Honestly, the narrator for Lucas in Deep End was good. It's really just the Scarlet narrator. Like, maybe I prefer Lucas in Deep End more than the male narrator here, but he's not bad at all. I don't mind him. But this has just been so freaking cute so far. And at the end of every chapter, there's like a little recorder tape sound and then little snippets from the radio show. So it's really cute to listen to on audio. I'm eating this up so far. I found my place in the book and I'm on page 86. This is like a 430 page book. So all that to say, we're getting there. The first part of the book has just been kind of the setup that I explained to you guys before. It's kind of giving Gilmore Girls a little bit. Not really, but like Lucy, our main female character, is kind of reminding me of Lorelai Gilmore because she had her daughter when she was like 17, I think, and her daughter is like 12 now. And Lucy works in like an auto repair shop, so it's kind of giving like tomboy, which I feel like Lorelai can be a little bit like that. And then honestly, Aiden, he's just kind of been uninspired in life and he's had like some health issues with his family, and so he's just been kind of hardened by all of that. But I think deep down he is like mushy, and I feel like Lucy may bring that out of him. I really like all the side characters. One thing I'll share, because I don't really think it's a big spoiler, you learn it in like the first or second chapter. Lucy's baby daddy, which her daughter's name is Maya, I'm pretty sure, but Maya's dad is actually gay, which is really fun because they have a great like co-parenting relationship. I'm just like relieved because I feel like I wouldn't want that to be like a conflict later in the book where like Maya's dad like comes back into the picture and like messes things up. So I'm just like vibing with the fact that like that is out of sight, out of mind. Plus her dad is just like fun and he has a good relationship with Maya, which is just like refreshing, you know? It's like, oh, thank God we don't have to deal with that. I'm gonna keep cleaning. Right now I'm just kind of like reorganizing everything and just doing some simple cleaning out. But once I do this, I probably need to go back through all of it like tomorrow and try a bunch of stuff on and see how it fits and make sure I still like it. Just kind of doing like part one of all the work today. Wish me luck. It is 6:45 now, so I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 hours. This is a reading vlog, and I'm like, my spring cleaning, here we go. I have a lot more to do tomorrow, but I'm proud of the work I did today, and we got it all cleaned up, and I got it all cleaned back up in here, so everything is back in the closet. It'll make it a lot easier tomorrow to just start going through stuff and trying it on, but I just need a break. I honestly don't have it in me to like do all of that trying on and stuff tonight. Anyways, I made it up to page 142 now. I'm on chapter 13. A few things to note though about the audiobook is we have dual narration, but we don't have it like within a chapter. So like if you're on a Lucy chapter, Lucy is the only one narrating that chapter, even when Aiden has dialogue. And then same on Aiden's chapters, Lucy doesn't like come in with her voice for her dialogue. I don't know what you call that exactly. I think it requires the two narrators to be like working together while they record it. So I'm sure it costs a bit more. I will say I wish it had that because I think it would make it even better. That is my only complaint about the audiobook, but it's really not like that big of a complaint. Aiden's interesting. I feel like I don't know. I'm interested to like go deeper with him and know more of his lore. He's very protective of Lucy, I feel like, which is endearing. Lucy, her whole thing when her daughter first called in and then she ended up talking to Aiden in the very beginning, she was like, I just want it to be easy. Like, why do I have to go out and look for this? Like, I just want to like find that with someone. Her whole spiel and speech that she gave in the beginning was very real and very relatable, but also like very cliche. I think that's the main thing for me so far is like, it's really hasn't been too cringy, just a little too cliche. It's a contemporary romance novel. I don't know what do I expect? But all that to say, I'm having a fun time with it. I'm going to take a break for dinner and hang out with Anders. I think we're going to watch an episode of White Lotus, but I may come back and just read some more or listen more later tonight. I'll keep you posted either way. Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, day 2 of the closet clean out process, and we are going to keep reading First Time Caller. I didn't get too much further last night. Anders and I ended up watching The White Lotus, and then I still had never seen Inside Out 2, so I ended up putting that on, sobbed, and then I got back in bed to read, and then the power went out. So the audiobook says I have 4 hours and 48 minutes left, which I feel like is super doable. I think it's going to take me at least 4 hours to do all of the closet things that I need to do today. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put the audiobook on and keep listening. I feel like there's a big difference in what Aiden's thinking and how he's acting. And I'm just like waiting on him to start like showing up in the way that he's truly feeling. It's doing what it needs to do. This is like a solid rom-com to me so far. Wish me luck. I'll check in when I get a bit further through the book. Just no better way to declutter and do spring cleaning than have a good audiobook, and this has just been carrying all day, and I am done cleaning out stuff for the weekend. Like, we're so done with this. So yeah, I'm about 70% of the way through First Time Caller. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna sit here and finish up the book this afternoon. I honestly feel like I could use some kind of like quiet downtime, just because I've been very active in my decluttering today. Okay, I finished First Time Caller, so let's talk about it. In the acknowledgements, BK Borison was talking about Sleepless in Seattle and how that movie inspired this book. And I may have seen that movie like years ago, but I really don't remember it. I need to do a rewatch. But I think if you're a big fan of that movie, you may like this book. I feel like the audiobook really made this stand out to me. Aiden is definitely not like the kind of male main character who's like super confident. He is kind of groveling. He's more so yearning than he is like laying it on thick. I ultimately really liked his arc. I felt like it kind of ended up making sense in the end, like why he is the way he is. And honestly, I just wish we could have gone a little bit deeper with that. I did really like how Lucy was a little bit more of like the headstrong, like know what she wants kind of type, because I felt like that really served them well as a couple. I feel like with rom-coms, a lot of times, you know, you just want something like short and sweet and bingeable. And this definitely was that. I feel like more and more I'm seeing these like contemporary romance books that are like over 400 pages. And I'm kind of like, why? I feel like closer to 350 is like my sweet spot for a romance. And like Deep End was this way too, where it was like 420. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like by the time I get to page like 360, 380, I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm ready for this. Like, I know what's going on here. And I feel like that was kind of the same with Deep End and First Time Caller. I don't know. I'm like, guys, let's just make these a hair shorter. Let's just cut a little bit of the fluff. I think overall I'm landing at like a 3.75 on this book. I definitely liked it more than Deep End, but not quite as much as Rebel Witch. I feel like overall I had a solid experience with all of these new releases, but nothing that like blew my socks off. But I'm crossing my fingers that Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins Collins will be a 5-star. So we'll see. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reading vlog. Let me know if you liked this kind of like week in my lifestyle themed reading vlog. I thought it was kind of fun to incorporate different pieces of my life into the vlog. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss a video from me. And in case you missed it, my last video was actually a book shopping vlog, which was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave it in a card here for you to check out. I think that's gonna be it for today, but I will see you super soon in my next one. Bye everyone.